गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वर्णानामर्धसङ्घानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम् वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुं शङ्कररूपिणं यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्रः सर्वत्र वन्द्यते सीतारामगुणग्राम पुण्यारण्यविहारिणौ वन्दे विशुद्धविज्ञानौ कवीश्वर कपीश्वरौ उद्भवस्थितिसंहार कारिणीं क्लेशहारिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभाम् यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हिर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवां बोधे स्थितिर्षावतां वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिं नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तः सुखाय तुलसी रघुनाथ गाथा भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुल मातनोति भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुल मातनोति रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। सीताया पतये नमः। कहाँ तक थे भाई हम? Let me check. One moment. I will check where we were.
Chaturtha Sarga starting.
Okay. Thank you. Chaturtha, fourth chapter starting. Fourth chapter. So, we are in Adhyatma Ramayana, Balakand, Chaturtha Sarga, fourth chapter, and here it is, the topic is of the coming of sage Vishwamitra to the kingdom of Ayodhya, and him taking Ram and Lakshman along with him, and then the Tataka, Ramchandra ji kills Tataka and all that story. So whatever comes afterwards we'll see. So here, where are we? One moment, we will start the fourth chapter. Chapter 4, page 45. just 1 second. Chapter 4. Gone ahead now. Canto 3, Arhat Teriki. Okay, we are here. So we'll read the first shloka. Chaturtha sarga Shri Mahadeva uvacha kadachit kaushiko bhyadgad ayodhyam jvalana prabha drashtum ramam paratmanam jatam nyatva swamayaya. Kadachit, once, Shri Mahadeva uvacha, Lord Shiva, he says, once, kadachit kaushiko abhyagad means he arrived. Who arrived? Sage Vishwa. Kaushika is another name of Sage Vishwamitra. So he arrived, and how was he? Jvalana Prabha. He was like radiant like fire and brilliant like sun. He was like that. Hamesha, always on fire. Wherever he went. Because why he comes to Ayodhya? You know why he comes? Because of his enmity with Sage Vasishta. That's why he comes there. Wherever Sage Vasishta is, he will go and create some trouble. Till he realizes that he is also the Brahma, that he becomes Brahma Rishi. So he goes, who was radiant and brilliant with the spiritual energy and glowing as fire, came to know or became aware of the fact that the Supreme Lord has manifested himself as Sri Ram. Again, we will see, I gave you just now one reason why he came to Ayodhya, because of animosity with Sage Vasishta. Another, if you want to be on the positive note, the positive note is because it was revealed to him that Lord Ram, the infinite Parabrahma Paramatma, has taken the avatar of Sri Ram, and he wants to do something for him, have his blessings, etc., etc. And therefore he comes to Ayodhya, where the infinite has taken the human form of Sri Ram, and using his own delusionary powers called Maya. So he came to Ayodhya to have his darshan, divine holy viewing. So drashtum Ramam Paratmanam, the infinite Parabrahma Paramatma, but who is appearing as Ram, Jnatam Nyatva Swamayaya. And how did Lord appear in the human form? By his own potentiality. Exactly the same way, my friends. Because in Upanishads we do the same, here also we are continuously reminding you, apply it subjectively. Swamayaya, infinite reality by its own potentiality took the form, the human form. So is true about you. You are the Atman. Atma has used its own potentiality, taken the support of its own potentiality. What is the potentiality? Mind. And taken the form of the human body. So this human body is only a projection, only an expression of is only an impression in the mind. That's all. Only a thought in the mind. Take it that way, then you cannot be away from Ram. Then you cannot be away from the infinite reality. But you have to stick to this point. We forget. Very quickly he starts dancing, we forget that I am the reality, I am the mother straight away. Isn't it? Or how wonderful this child. We get lost in that. So we have to continuously, in spite of everything taking place in the world, these are the pointers in Adhyatma Ramayana. It comes in Bhagavad also, it comes in Gita also, it comes in every text that we are taking. But we have to become available. Then thereafter, in the second, third and fourth verse, Drishtva Dasharatho Raja Pratyuthaya Chirena tu Vasisthena Samagamya Pujayitva Yatha Vidhi Abhivadya Munim Raja Pranjalir Bhakti Namradhihi Krutarthosmi Munindraham Tvadagamana Karanat Twadvidha Yadgruham Yanti Tatraiva Yanti Sampadaha Yadarthamagatosi Tvam Bruhi Satyam Karomi Tata. I don't know if they take the story of Vishwamitra ahead or no. Let me just check. No, they don't. Vishwamitra, before we move ahead, Vishwamitra was a king. A very successful king, a very powerful king. And one day he had gone out to conquer lands. And when he had gone out to conquer lands, and after a victorious project, he was returning along with his army, he got the news that his kingdom, because he had gone for a few months, and in the meantime his kingdom is suffering from famine. And so he was coming back. As he was coming back slowly, he said, let me pay respects to Sage Vasishtha. And he went there to Sage Vasishtha. And Sage Vasishtha, when he sees that the king is coming back with his army, he says, please welcome them. And he is welcomed, and he is given all the required paraphernalia that is required for a king. And every person in his army is given the food that they like. Every person, imagine the whole army, every person was given the food that they like to till they filled their stomach. When all this was done and everyone was rested, then he asked, how could you do this? You are a rishi, you don't have anything. He says, I got a Kamadhenu cow. Kamadhenu is again in our mind only. It is, when our mind is pure, it can manifest anything. So he said, I got the Kamadhenu cow, who is the daughter of Surabhi, or Surabhi cow, who is the daughter of Kamadhenu, whichever way. And she has provided all this. He says, what does a rishi need this cow for? You got only few rishis, brahmacharis, and they are healthy. I am a king, I got a huge kingdom, and and my kingdom is in famine right now, and this cow will be beneficial if I take it with me. He says, no, I cannot. She does not go with anyone, and you have to be qualified to have her. So he says, you are in my kingdom, and I am the king, and I am ordering you to give me the cow. Before he was requesting, now he is ordering. I am ordering you to give the cow. Don't you think that it is? He says, what you say, logically it sounds correct. But this cow has been gained through tapasya. You haven't done any tapasya, and I cannot give it to you. Now the third stage. He says, I will take it forcibly. I'll take it forcibly. And he says, you may take if she goes with you. You may take if she goes with you. And Sage Vashishta, he folds his hand and he says, "Oh Surabhi Mata or Kamdhenu Mata, it's up to you what you want, because it's out of my control now. I cannot stop him. I am a rishi. I told him once, twice, thrice, but he is adamant, and you have to protect yourself because I am not a fighter. I am not a kshatriya." And immediately, as Vishwamitra was pulling the rope around her neck, immediately out of her womb, out of her tummy, an entire army appeared with the best of weapons, with full greater armor than his army, and within a jiffy defeated the entire army. Now, Vishwamitra, he was flabbergasted. He says, "What is this? Who is this? What is this happening? I am a successful kshatriya. I have conquered so many lands, and here I am getting defeated by a cow." He couldn't digest it. It didn't go down well down his throat. And instead of going back to his kingdom, he went to do tapasya. He said, "I am going to have divine weapons like this cow has given. I am going to do tapasya, and then I will." And from that moment, he has ill will towards, well, till he doesn't attain Brahma Rishi status, till then he has this. That's why he went and tested Raja Harishchandra. He tested Sri Ram, came to Sri Ram to take away Ram and Lakshman from Sage Vashishta and Dasharatha. Wherever Sage Vashishta is, he will create this problem. And in this manner, he did his tapasya. He got lot of weapons, divine weapons. He came, he fought. And now Vishwamitra, what will he do? He took the Brahma Dand, the T-shaped wood which they put under their hand. He put that at the gate of the ashram, and all the weapons that he threw at the ashram or at Sage Vashishta, they all got absorbed into that dand. Again he was mesmerized. What is this? First it was the cow, now this is even greater. That was a living thing. This is jada. This is piece of wood. And this wood is absorbing all my divine weapons. What is this? Now, that is a Brahma Danda. It is called Brahma Danda. So now he becomes even great tapasvi. And in that journey, somewhere Menka came, and somewhere the Shakuntala was born, and so many things. Trishanku came, and he created a parallel heaven for Trishanku. Then Brahmaji and other devtas, they requested him, "Don't do that, man. The whole universe will go up topsy-turvy. It will be in imbalance." So he left it. But every time, see, he is a proactive person, but he was using his willpower, he was using his strength. And in spirituality, we don't have to use our strength. We have to become calm. If it is an effortless effort, that he realizes only when he reaches the last stage. And the last stage was everyone. And he realized many things happened in between. I'm not going to go and tell you all those stories. Eventually, one day, there is a Brahma Sabha in the heavens, and they say, "Oh, where is Vishwamitra?" And then a team is sent, "Bring Vishwamitra." Vishwamitra came. He says, "Why did you not start? Why did you invite me here?" "Oh, how can?" Well, because by then, he has revealed the Gayatri Mantra and all those things. So he said, "Oh, this Brahma Sabha cannot take place without the great Vishwamitra, the friend of the universe." Vishwamitra, the friend of the universe. Without him, how can the Brahma Sabha take place, in which all the great rishis are there? So he said, "No, I'm not a great rishi. This is a Sabha of Brahma Rishi. I am only a Raj Rishi. So, no. You have to, he says, no. You have to attend this. They are insisting that he should attend, and he is saying, I cannot because I am not a Brahma Rishi. I am not a Brahma Rishi. And at that time, sage was, and at that time, the bell rings in his mind, they say, and he touched the feet of sage Vasishta. If he did or not, we don't know. But he said, if sage Vasishta declares that I am Brahma Rishi, then I am Brahma Rishi. Why? Where was the tiff? Tiff was with sage Vasishta. So he says, if sage Vasishta, others are saying, if others are saying that you are Brahma Rishi, he says it's meaningless for me. If sage Vasishta tells me I am Brahma Rishi, then I am Brahma Rishi. And he calls him Brahma Rishi, please get up. Brahma Rishi Vishwamitra. From that moment onwards, all is hunky-dory. So that Vishwamitra has arrived, and when he, here it says, Društva, again, Društva, having seen, who having seen? Dasharatha having seen, Raja Dasharatha having seen, Pratyuthaya Chirenatu, he immediately stood up and Vasishthena Samagamya Pujayitva Yatha Vidhi, and immediately he moved along with sage Vasishta, he moved forward and to receive the sage Vishwamitra, gave him a due place. And what was the place? Usually in those times, they will give the place of the king or the throne or a high seat equal to sage Vasishta. So he gave him a proper seat and duly worshipped him. Abhivadya munim raja pranjalir bhakti namradhihi. And that he duly worshipped him and paid his obeisance to him. Then the king folded his hands with great respect and devotion and said prayerfully, Kruthartosmi Munindra aham tvad agamana karanat. Please tell me, what is the reason of your arrival in our kingdom? And in a very humble, with great humility, with calm, cool, collected mind, he asked that question to, O exalted sage, I have been highly obliged by your holy visit, and Tvad Agamana Karanat, and okay. Then he says, Tvad Vidha Yad Gruham Yanti Tatraiva yanti sampadaha yadartham agataha asi tvam bruhi satyam karomi tata. And he says that every prosperity, every well-being and welfare come in the household where great sages and great souls come and pay a visit. And now please tell me the reason. Tvad agamana karanat. Now please tell me the reason of your visit, and I will do whatever you say. I shall obey your command, and I will do as you wish. Saying this, he welcomes, and naturally Harishchandra also said that I will do as he said, give me your kingdom. And he made him go out. It was more, that's why today the Satyavadi Harishchandra, he became so famous. Before that he was not as famous as he is today. Same way, even Dasharatha and the glory of Ram and Lakshman, it is because, and we'll see the story what he says now. I don't want to go ahead. Continuing in the next two verses, 5 and 6. Vishwamitropitam pritah pratyuvacha mahamatihi aham parvani samprapte društva yashtum suran pritrun yadarabhe tada daitya vignam kurvanti nityashah Marichascha Subahushcha Cha Apare Chanucharastayo. So here he says that then that sage Vishwamitropi tam pritaha pratyuvacha mahamiti, lovingly with great that great sage, he spoke to Pratyuvacha, he replied to Mahamatihi, he replied to King Dasharatha, who is of the great intellect, great intelligence, Mahamatihi. Then aham parvani samprapte drushtva yashtum suran pitrun, and he says that the moment I begin to यहाँ पे बाद में आएगा यदा रभे तदा दैत्या विघ्नं कुर्वन्ति नित्यशः. Whenever I start doing the fire sacrifice to offer ahutis for the devas, Suran and the Pitras and the ancestors, at that Yadarabhe, when I do that very time, Daityas Vignam Kurvanti Nityashaha, they continuously, regularly, they come and do mischief and destroy our havan, destroy our fire sacrifice and create obstacles in it. And what were the obstacles? They used to throw stones from the sky, they used to throw bones and blood, or they will throw water and the fire will extinguish, or they will come and beat up all the rishis who are doing doing the sacrifice. Then why could Vishwamitra not fight them? He could. But he has taken a vow that during this particular period, you are not supposed to be angry. So he chooses to run away or keep quiet or go through the whole process. And he says that the moment I begin to perform the fire sacrifice in honor of gods and ancestors, the Marichascha Subahushcha Subahu cha apare chano charastayoho. So these two, Marich and Subahu. Marich means illusion, and Subahu is with strong arms. So both of them, they come. They are brothers or they are cousins or whatever. They are children of Tadka, no? Yeah. They are the children of Tadka. So they are brothers, and they come and they desecrate the fire sacrifice, continuing in the 7th and 8th. Fire sacrifice used to be performed nowadays also it is performed, but very rare are the people in today's time who can perform the fire sacrifice without any mistake. In Kali Yuga it is very, very difficult. The sleep comes, the mantras are not chanted properly, the intonation is not properly done, or the ahuti is missed, or at the wrong, the synchronization is not there. Many mistakes happen, and therefore you see only few Mahatmas are there who are exemplary at this, but any Tom, Dick and every priest who is doing it, they are just doing it, but that purity is, it requires purity of mind, it requires brahmacharya, it requires the no mistake in the intonation of the mantras, etc., etc. So when was the fire sacrifice, when did it begin? It did not begin in Satyayug. Satyayug there was no, it was the internal fire. The fire was internal, the fire of contemplation. That fire of contemplation, now grossification is taking place from Satyayug, Tretayug, Dwapar, Kaliyug. So slowly the grossification is happening, and the values, the focus, the concentration, the capacity of the intellect to remain steady is deteriorating. And so in Tretayug, the system was, the methodology was invoke the fire, and at that time Vishnu and all these Shiva, all this was not there. There were only the Devatas. There were only the Devatas and there were only the ancestors. And the Surya, Chandra, Nakshatra and the planetary and the Lord Yam, yes. But there were no, the Trinity was not there. Trinity came in, it was not there, it doesn't mean it was not there. They were not prayed to. What was prayed was the physical universe and what is the immediate. Sun, moon, planets, nakshatras, various galaxies and the Ashwini Kumars, and so on. And all these Varuna Devata, Agni Devata, Vayu Devata, they were invoked. But as we come into the Dwapar Yug, then we see that it was in Dwapar Yug that Sahasra Shirsha Purusha was given. It was there that the Krishna came. Therefore, you see, in Dwapar Yug, Krishna is Purna Avatar. Whereas in Ramchandraji's time, Ramchandra did not show his Purna Avatar. He has all the powers, but he chooses not to. See? So, now the intellect is so deteriorated in Dwapar Yug that it needs a support. It needs, before it was support of fire. That fire was the representation of the inner fire. Now, fire also is not enough. You need a form in your form. And that is, but an extraordinary form. Extraordinary form, 4 hands, 6 hands, 9 hands, or 10 hands, whatever. And all these Shankachak. And where did it come from? Maharishi Vedyas only gave it. So it was easier to understand the ideas presented in the Upanishads. The knowledge was there, but it was not necessary in the Satya Yuga. It was not necessary because Treta Yuga was more duty oriented, whereas Dwapar Yuga is more seva oriented. See? And therefore, in Dwapar Yuga, all the Puranas came about. These Puranas were not required in the Treta Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, you look at the Puran, sleep comes. You look at Bhagavad Gita, sleep comes. You listen to one satsang, 10-15 minutes later, karate. Why? No focus, no concentration, no steadiness of the intellect. The grasping ability is very less. And therefore, the name of the Lord is the easiest way. But what are you told here? Chant the name of the Lord joyfully. Slowly, slowly, the mind will stick to it. And that's the methodology. So here, he is saying that all these Marich and Subahu, they come. See, who is this Marich? Illusion, imagination, trickery. What happens to you? Right now you are all listening on computer or here. You are listening. Are you 100% with every word, or in between the attention goes, oh, what's that beautiful bird? Or suddenly while sitting here listening, suddenly the mind goes into a reverie, some imagination, some memory from the past, it suddenly comes. What is that memory? Imagination only. That is Marich. Marich is illusion. See? Or some Subahu, strength. Some negative, powerful thought comes and hijacks your attention away from the satsang or the japa or the prayer, the meditation that you are doing. So you understand why we are giving you this? Why didn't we tell you in Bhagavatam all this? We did Ramayana there also. Why? Because this is Adhyatma Ramayana. See, there also we read about Marich and Subahu and everything in the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this Marich and Subahu, when you take it subjectively, these are the two, the strong negative thoughts, powerful negative thoughts, and the power of illusion, power of mental hypnosis, imagination, which distracts you from job at hand, and that is so. If you take it this way, we are reading the story, but you apply it subjectively also. And in this way, continuing 7th and 8th verse, Atastayorvadarthaya jyeshtham ramam prayachha me lakshmanena saha bhratra tava shreyo bhavishyati vasishtena saha mantriya diyatam yadi rochate papracha guru me kante raja chinta parayanaha. He says, therefore, ataha, therefore, tayor vadharthaya shre jyeshtam ramam prayachame. He says, prayachame, lend me. Can I borrow your 2 sons? Ram. Here he says Ram. Jyeshtam Ramam. So, can I take Ram and his younger brother Lakshmana, so that these demons can be killed, slayed, annihilated. So, what do you understand from this? So, whenever we have this, whenever we want to be focused and we are being hijacked by overpowering thoughts or illusory thoughts in our imaginations, in our mind, who can help us? Subahu can be counteracted by Lakshmanji. He is the Kal himself. He is the most powerful. And Marich, Ramchandraji. So here he says, so when Vishwamitra himself is taking Ram and Lakshman to kill, he's already said, to kill them. So within us, how can we kill these two? By invoking Ram and Lakshman in our heart and mind. So in this manner, this noble deed, he says that Lakshmanena saha, so elder Ram and along with Lakshmana, Bhrata tava shreyo bhavishyati, and Shreya means good deed. Bhavishyati, it will remain in good stead for them. Their name will be far and wide, will be good for them. A lot of blessings will come as a result of it. It will be good for it will result in great welfare. Vasishtena saha mantrya diyatam yadi rochate papracha guru mekante raja chinta parayanaha. And Vishwamitra tells Vasishtena Mahamantrya, consult, have a consultation with your Guru Vasishta Maharaj, with Vasishta Maharaj, Diyatam yadi rochate, and if you wish, if you wish, what? Give the Diyatam, give what? Papracha Guru Mekante Raja Chinta Parayana, give the 2 princes to me. Diyate yadi rochate, then papracha. So papracha gurum ekante, in quietude you can speak to your Guru Maharaj, the Vasisht whom we talked about before, the name was taken, and so our king Dasharatha Chinta Parayana, when he was asked that can I take your 2 sons, he didn't mind too much about Lakshman, but Ramchandraji, it was his breath, and immediately you could see the stress, and his blood pressure went high, his heart started beating, and he immediately took the papracha. He asked Vasishtha ji in solitude regarding this issue, And then let's read 9th, 10th and 11th verse. Kim karomi guru ramam tyaktum notsahate manaha bahuvarsha sahasrante kashte notpadita sutaha chatvaro maratulyaste tesham ramoti vallabhaha ramastvito gachanti chena jivami kathanchana प्रत्याख्यातो यदि मुनिः शापं दास्यत्य संशयः कथं श्रेयो भवे मह्यम् असत्यं चापि न स्पृशेत्. See, one more thing you have to understand. What did Dasharatha do? Dasharatha took Vasishtha into a quiet place and consulted with him. What should we do? When our mind is disturbed, it is being hijacked, what you should do? You should also consult whom? You remember what you have studied. You invoke your teacher, Guru Maharaj. Vasishtha is his Guru Maharaj, na? Kul Guru. So, you also think of your Guru Maharaj, you think of the scriptures. If you take Jnaneshwar Maharaj as the Guru, or Krishna as the Guru, or Ramchandraji as the Guru, or any other master who has come into your life, remember someone, Ramana Maharaj. So, in India we don't have any shortage. Think of someone. Someone who is familiar, immediately their words will resonate in your mind. Immediately. But how do you do it? Go away, or wherever you are, immediately invoke, oh Guru Maharaj, please guide me. Why is this taking place? What should I do? How do I get out of this continuous onslaught of Marich and Subahu in my mind? It happens, isn't it? Everyone it happens. How should I do? And all this for last so many years we have been studying different texts. You think it has gone to waste? No. In those moments when you remember the teacher, that very moment, something what you have heard in those so many years, something will pop up which is appropriate for you at that moment to pull you out of that. And what will he do? He will remind you. He will remind you. What he will remind, we'll see now. It is but natural to lose the plot when our mind is being hijacked by Marich and Subahu. When we are in thought fixations, when we are in phobias, we want to take the name of the Lord. We know we want to be at peace within ourselves. One boy was there. Now he's all settled now. Now he's a teacher. But he came to me as a drug addict. Someone suggested, I said, I never done all this stuff. But all I can do is, if he wants to ask some questions, that's okay. 5 years he came. 5 years. He wanted to get out of his drug business. Business means he was drug addict. Taking injections and taking all he had been to rehab, he had come out, again started, again. But he wanted to come out. And my friend, he is a hypnotist. So he did hypnosis on him. He tried to weaken that urge to go back to the drugs. But at the same time, his intelligence must click in. So for that intelligence, that knowledge, he came to me. And we started working on him just as a friend. Nothing, I'm not teaching, but I'm answering his question. His answer is, why my mind is behaving like this? Why my mind is going back to it? Why? And in that process of withdrawal from the drugs, the mind is throwing all the garbage out. Just like when you take the name of the Lord, the mind throws all the garbage which is lurking in the subconscious. That is Marich and Subhahu. That is the garbage. So how do I deal with it? But slowly, slowly, today he is teaching other drug addicts to come out of in Bendigo. And he's got his online courses. Every 2 weeks he puts one lecture on, and his income is only from those lectures on YouTube. He's making that much. So good on him, married, 2 children. So it's not just he is drug addict with drugs. We are addicted to family, friends, social circle, heater, cooler, food, things. If the things don't go our way, we immediately lose the plot, reaction straight away, isn't it? People go into depression if things are not conducive. All this is this Marich. All this is Marich and Subhahu. See? And they have to be killed. And who will help us? Our Guru Maharaj will help us. He will give us the right guidance. So here, when we see, he says, Kim Karomi Guru. This is what we read, no? We already read 9, 10, 11?
Yeah, we just read it.
We read it. Kim Karomi Guru Ramam Tyaktum Notsahate Manaha Bahuvarsha Sahasrante Kashte Nutpadita Sutaha. O Guru, after this is King Dasharatha telling that after hundreds of years, O Guru Maharaj, sage Vasishtha, after hundreds of years I have got the divine as my 4 sons. I have been thirsting to have a son, and now I have, and I am just now learning, enjoying their company, because so many days they went to the ashram. At 6, 7 years they went to the ashram, 16 they came back. So again, how many? 8, 9 years they were in the ashram. Now I'm just enjoying their company. My eyes are getting satiated looking at them. Ram, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughna. And out of them, Sri Ram is very dear to me. So what should I do now? I cannot live without him, so and so on and so forth. He says, Chatvaro Amaratulya Aste. All 4 are nectarine. Amaratulya Aste means they are like an immortal nectar to me. Tesham Ramoti Vallabaha. And out of those 4 who are nectar like, out of them Ram is Ati Vallabaha, is extremely dear to me. And therefore Ramastvito gacchati chenna jivami kathanchana pratyakhyato yadi munihi. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, we'll leave that one. Ramastvito gacchati chenna jivami kathanchana. And he says, my mind is not ready to part with him or with anyone else. And if Ram, what did he say? He says, where are we? Ramastvito gacchati. If Sri Ram goes away from me, chenna jivami katanchana. I don't know if I will live or not. I don't know if I will live or not. And therefore, he says, where are we? Which one are we doing? Gacchati chenna jivami katanchana pratyakhyato yadi munihi shapam dasyatya sanshaya katham shreyo bhaven mahyam asatyam chapi na sprushet. He says that but if I refuse sage Vishwamitra, if I refuse him straight away, Vishwamitra will cast a curse on me. So what should I do at this curse on me? So tell me how to protect my interest and and I am saved from telling a lie. At the same time, not send Ram and Lakshman along with the sage. Please tell me a jugad. Jugad bata do. That I am able to tell him something which is not a lie, yet it is not complete truth also, but some excuse I am able to give him so that he refrains from taking the two aankhon ka tara, star of my eyes, away from me. See, he is in pain. He can't even imagine the separation from, especially from Ram. And in this manner, Vasishtha Uvacha, we'll chant 12th and 13th verse. Shunu Rajan Deva Guhyam Gopaniyam Prayatnataha Ramo Namanusho Jataha Paramatma Sanatanaha Bhumer Bharaavataraya Brahmana Prarthita Pura Sa Eva Jato Bhavane Kausalyayam Tavanagha. He says, the sage Vishwamitra said, O king, Shunu Rajan Deva Guhyam, that listen to a secret. Guhyam is the secret, the Rajan is the king. So, O king, listen to a secret. Guhyam Gopaniyam Prayatnataha. And Deva Guhyam. It has to be protected from gods also, this secret which I am going to tell you. Why? All the gods have come as monkeys. It has to be protected from them also. Because Ramchandraji, Krishna did not stop showing his miraculous powers throughout before his advent. Whereas Ramchandraji, even after he is grown up, he doesn't want to show his divinity to anyone. That is the purpose of this avatar, we can say. So, should be concealed even from gods. It should not be divulged to them or anyone else under any circumstance. Ramo na manusho. And what is that secret which should not be divulged? Ramo na manushaha jataha paramatma sanatana. And you think, if sage Vashishta is telling is telling King Dasharatha, we are telling you, do you accept that you are of the nature of divinity? Do you accept? Dasharatha also did not accept. That is okay, but I don't want him to go. So what is the secret? The secret is that this Ram is not an ordinary Ramo na manusho jata. He is not ordinary human being, a human that you take him to be, but Paramatma Sanatanaha, that he is the eternal, absolute, supreme reality, which is, and what is that? What is that supreme reality? It is the Satchidanand Swarup, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarup. It is self-effulgent, self-knowing, unborn, undying. All these things are not written here, but that is the meaning that is being information being shared by sage Vashishta to King Dasharatha. So he is the all-pervading, all-encompassing, attributeless, supreme Lord of the entire creation, and who has manifested as Sri Ram by his own delusionary powers, by his own Maya, and in the form of human being. So you stop being attached. You can't control him. You cannot cage him. You cannot protect him, because he is the protector of all. He is the sustainer of all. He is the destroyer of all. He is the essence of everything, including Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. See, whom we are talking about? We are talking about the Parabrahma Paramatma. That he is the Parabrahma Paramatma. From Parabrahma Paramatma came Brahma Vishnu Mahesh, isn't it? Through his Maya. That Vishnu then has taken through his Maya, through his Yoga Maya, he has taken the birth as Ram, taken the manifestation of Ram. So understand it in that manner. Then he says, Bhumer Bharavatārāya Brahmana Prarthita Pura Saeva Jato Bhavane Kausalyayam Tavanagha. Now, don't you think King Dasharatha knows this? He knows. Before birth, before getting the payasam, before calling, before the Agni Devata came with the payasam, Rishyasringa already told him that Supreme Lord is going to appear as the 4 sons for you. You are going to be blessed. And he had 4 sons. He already told you. Like the scriptures are again and again telling us, Mahatmas are again and again telling us that you are Satchidanand Swarup, that you are essentially the Paramatma, you are unborn, you are undying. That is what is realization, no? But do we accept? Who is Dasharatha? Dasharatha is who has control over his 10 senses. The Karmendriyas and Jnanendriyas. He has control. Yet he is succumbing to the form of Ram. He has control over his senses. Yet we have control of our senses in certain circumstances. But other places, we succumb. It has to be continuous. For that, mind also has to be in control. Just merely senses and organs of action is not enough. Mind must also be in control. And therefore, so here he says, Sa eva jato bhavane kausalyayam tavanagha. So, oh you, anagha, the sinless one, the one who cannot commit any papam, and the faultless one. In earlier times, Lord Brahma had prayed to the Lord to remove the burden of the earth caused by the demonic forces. We saw in the beginning of the of this Balakand, where Brahmaji had approached Lord Vishnu to relieve the burden of the earth by killing Ravan and his troop. So here Dasharathji doesn't know it. Dasharathji doesn't know it. Dasharath doesn't even know who he is really. It is because we also don't know who we are really. We, from the time of birth, we have just accepted we are this body. We have accepted we are the child of these parents. We have accepted we are growing. We have accepted we are the mind and the senses, and that we are breathing. The day the breathing stops, we think we will die. We have accepted it. And what is spirituality? Spirituality is accepting that you are the divine, that you are the all-pervasive one, that you are the unborn one, the undying one. This transformation in our acceptance, instead of accepting I am only this body, you accept yourself as the undying one, the unborn one. Then what will happen? Whether this body dies, nothing will happen to you. Right now, if this body dies, there is pain, there is trouble, there is depression, sadness. Ocean does not cry because so many waves are dying. Ocean does not get excited because so many waves are coming into existence. So, once we accept ourselves as that Parabrahma Paramatma, our consciousness will expand to include the entire creation, all the beings, past, present and future. And if those beings are coming and going It does not matter, because I am the support, I am the foundation, I am the basis, I am the creator of this creation through this Maya.
What happened? What is that? What happened?
I am the so here Parabrahma Paramatma doesn't say all these things. He doesn't say. But this is the disposition. Because we have to communicate, the scriptures have to communicate to us, so they use this language. So something fantastic. And that fantastic, how creation, maintenance, destruction, past, present, future, everything is happening at the same time. Your mind cannot imagine. Yet, this was presented by the Lord to Arjuna in the 11th chapter, where everything is taking place at the same time. And it was so fantastic that the mind of Arjuna became overwhelmed. Same thing happens to us. When we see something most beautiful, we get overwhelmed. When we see something which is most fantastic out of our imagination, our mind is not able to handle it. See? So this Dasharath Maharaj, he is being reminded. And through Dasharath Maharaj, what is being told to us? That, hey, at least control the 10 senses. And if you think only 10 senses are controlled and that is enough, it is not enough. Also, it is necessary that you control these 10. But now next one is that you don't get attached. That child which you have, I don't have children, I got many children. Every small child I enjoy and let go. The moment they become teenager, I let go. They do their own. Then next child comes into my life. And this satsang has been very generous. This crowd has been very generous. For last 15 years, someone or the other is always there every second year. So there is always someone for me to play. What is your disposition towards your child, and what is my disposition towards that child? Think. That will be the disposition of that Parabrahma Paramatma towards everything and everyone. Why? Here at least, in my case, the child is there and it is someone else's. But when I am playing with them, I am 100%. But here, Parabrahma is playing is himself. So if I am having that attitude that I am playing with my own self, with Krishna or Lavanya or Srinika or so many kids are there. I am 100%, but I don't feel sad because I am going away. I am not sad. If that child doesn't come and talk to me, I'll get their try to get their attention for some time. It doesn't give me attention, okay. बुड्ढे से ही काम चलेगा. बाकियों को तंग कर. See? So, in this manner, so the sage Vashishta is reminding Dasharath Maharaj that he is not just your son. You have given your son a name, Krishna. But are you attached to the Krishna? Are you only thinking about the form of your son Krishna? Or is your attention on the consciousness Krishna, which is the same in him and the same in you? Or are you seeing Krishna as a child and then say, oh, his mannerisms are like when baby Krishna movie you see or videos you see, in that it is similar. If you are comparing that way, you are going the wrong way. If your attention is on the consciousness that is expressing there and the consciousness that is expressing here is one and the same, nothing has multiplied, it's one alone which is playing with itself, then you are slowly coming to that Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna consciousness? The all-pervasive consciousness, the all-knowing consciousness, the all-blissful consciousness, which is unborn, undying. That is Krishna consciousness. Ever playful, ever righteous, ever playful, ever righteous, but it doesn't create a memory. It doesn't create a memory. So he says, oh, where are we? Which verse we were on? 13th. The Lord has taken birth in your household from the womb of Kaushalya to fulfill the promise he made to the gods. And what was the, what is it? Bhumer Bharavataraya. Taraya, to free the Bhumi from the afflictions that have, and to relieve the Brahmanas, Prarthita Pura. And these Brahmanas, these sages, these gods, etc. Here Brahmana means the sages and the Brahmins. In the ancient time, they had prayed to be absolved, to be protected, and for that, Sa eva jate bhavane kausalyayam tavanaga. O faultless one, therefore he that Parabrahma Paramatma has taken birth through the womb of your wife Kausalya. See? Continuing in the 14th and 15th verse. Tvam tu prajapati purvam kasyapo brahmanas sutaha kausalya chaditir devam deva mata purvam yashasvini bhavantau tapa ugram vai te pathe bahuvatsaram agramya vishayau vishnu puja dhyanaika tatparau tada prasanno bhagavan varado bhaktavatsalaha. Now he is revealing the past life. Now he is revealing the past life. Something 1992, 93, one person told me, a Jyotish, but he was from South America, and he told me something. And exactly like that, it has been happening at least for last 15-20 years. Exactly the way it was told, the same way it is. And I didn't believe him, whatever hoga koi. But whatever he said at that time, he said that you will go to an ashram. I was working, I was earning money. Ashram, it was not even an option for me. It was not an option. Will I take sannyas? I never used to think about all these things. But see, at that time, whatever he said, that's how everything has unfolded. And is, in retrospect, when I see whatever his words were, they have come true. That time I did not believe it. Itne hi Jyotishi hain, so many people are there like that. Whom will you believe? You take it in the same stride. हाँ ऐसे ही ठीक है. पर जो बोला सब हो गया. तो same way, when I look back, when you look back, why you got that soul as your daughter, why you got this soul as the teacher of Adhyatma Ramayana, why do you come across the various Mahatmas, why did you go and live in the ashrams in India? So all this has happened in your life right now, something or the other. Why did you stay away from your family for 2 and 3 years? Why do you have to go through that trouble? Yes, for the future and everything, but it's painful. It is, who does not want the joy of living together with the family? So all this is pre-written. The blueprint of our life is already written. According to our scriptures, nothing is new in our life. Which yoni, which species you are going to be born in, how many breaths you are going to take, and how long you are going to live, what experiences are going to, what joys and sorrows are going to come to you. Whether you become joyful and sorrowful, that's your choice. But what joys and sorrows the world is going to throw at you, it is already predetermined. Do we have a choice? Yes. What choice? Whether to be excited and sorrowful or to remain steady by discrimination, be Godwards. That choice we have. To continue to produce desire more and more for this world, we have a choice. If we think of the world, we will have more desires for the world. Or we have a choice that if I get peace at night when my mind is empty of all desires, all thoughts, if that is what peace I get, then I must consciously, diligently, regularly practice every day that my mind becomes quiet like in sleep, while with me remaining conscious. Our intention should be, it will happen slowly, but we must be attentive towards it. Our intention should be pure with this regard. This choice we have. If we don't exercise this choice and we keep complaining, I don't know why the COVID has come. It was meant to come. What is your response? Some people, today only someone was saying, oh, this COVID has done this and that. And I said, Amma, you have got two choices. Either you can complain again and again, oh, I was locked up for 2.5 years, or you can give the what you call idea to the mind that this 2.5 years of lockdown was the biggest blessing that you got. To introspect, to be with yourself, to slow down, to see what is real for you and what is important for you. Otherwise we are just running in a rat race. Work, home to work to home, cooking, breakfast, lunch, dinner, children go to school, have you studied or not? Same dialogues coming out of our mouth on a daily basis. Before food, after food, did you wash your hand, did you not? Why did you drop that? Why don't you clean it? How many times I have to tell you have to clean it? Same thing going on. See? And yes, that will go on. But the choice is that we have to consciously work towards, because see, you will keep getting desires wherever your attention is. If your attention is towards the world, you will get desires for the world. If your attention is on Ram, you will get desire for Ram, to be one with him. But this choice, Bhagwan, the Lord, Brahmaji, he has left it for us. That's the only choice he has left. Whatever is going, what body you are going to get, what experiences you are going to get, how many breaths you are going to breathe, all that is predetermined. So here Dasharatha is being revealed his past. And don't think that because you wished this life that and you did yajna, so it came. Yes, all that is true, but you were in your past life, in your previous life, you were Prajapati Kashyapa. Tvam tu Prajapati Purvam. In the ancient times, you were Kashyapo Brahmana Sutaha. You were the Prajapati Kashyap, the son of Brahma. And Kaushalya was Aditi. Who is Aditi? Aditi is the mother of gods. Aditi is the mother of Vaman avatar. That Aditi. Oh, really? Like people, Chinmayananji told once in his lecture that I was Kapil Muni. See? Shirdi Sai Baba or Satya Sai Baba, they say we are the Tatre avatar. See? So they come to our Ammachi, she takes the Durga darshan hota hai na unka, kya bolte hain? Durga, Devi darshan, and sometimes in between she takes Krishna, gives Krishna darshan also. See? So, all these are not just cock and bull stories. In our Sanatana Dharma, if we are in the relative world, past life, future life is an accepted norm. And your present life is because of your past karma. And future life is going to be because of present karma. So what karma are you going to do here? Are you going to be lusty after the world? Lusty after the marich? Or after the imaginations? Or are you going to be desiring, realizing the reality or the Lord? The choices are ours. That is why scriptures, it is by grace that the scriptures have come into your life. It is by grace that I am talking about them. 25, 30 years ago, if someone had told that I will be talking on Adhyatma Ramayana, and even when I completed 2 years of study, one Vidyananda, she was in charge of all the schools in India, and her kutia was there in the ashram, and she said, I was flying out, and she said, come, before going, come and have, I'm going to make food for you. So I don't know, she had this affinity for me, and I went there, she was there, and I just, she had taught me Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajman or something, or the first chanting Varnanam Artha Sanganam, something she had taught me. So she says, will you give satsang on Ramayana when you go to Australia? I said, of course. Yes, I have never spoken in Hindi. I have not given satsang in English also till today. I only studied. So whatever, however it unfolds, if I'm meant to be silent, I'll be silent. If I'm meant to give talks, I'll give talks in English, in Hindi, whatever. And she says, I see, because over the years, 2 years, I had been interacting with her, and she says, I see you have got a lot of love for Ramayana. I said, yes. She picked up the 3 volumes of Akhandanand Maharaj, such big ones. I had all packed my bags and everything. And she gave me these 3 big volumes. And she says, and those 3 volumes were given to her by some other Mahatma. If those pages, if I touch them, they just crumble. It's that old. तो अब रामायण भी शुरू हो गया. कहाँ पे? वो फिजी टेम्पल में शुरू हो गया. फिर अभी तुलसी अपना मनोज के साथ शुरू हो गया. अब यहाँ पे भी शुरू हो गया. See? So it's not that it is, I don't decide what text I'm going to take. But I'm open. There are so many texts. I could have taken Vishnu Puran, I could have taken Shiv Puran, I could have taken Skanda Puran or Brahma Puran, or so many things are there. Why only Adhyatma Ramayana came? I don't know. His wish. Maybe you all wanted to hear So that thought came here. You wanted to hear, and this one wanted to speak. This mind wanted to speak. Maybe I didn't complete it last time. So it is happening. So here he says that you were the Kashyapa Rishi, who was the mind-born son of Brahmaji, and Kaushalya was Aditi. From Diti came Daityas, Asuras, and from Aditi came Adityas, which are Sura, means the gods. And those are again stories in detail. We are not here too much in stories, more into Adhyatma. And the famed mother of gods, at that time both of you had detached yourself from worldly attachments and objects and had instead concentrated solely on the worship of and meditation of Lord Vishnu. Bhavantau tapa ugram vai. Very intense tapas you were doing. Ugra means intense. Tepa the bahuvatsaram. And you did that tapasya for many eons or for vatsaram, years, for many years. Then it says, Agramya Vishayam Vishnu Puja Dhyanaika Tatparau. And you did, and you had undertaken severe penances and austerities, keeping and done this tapas, doing meditation and puja of Lord Vishnu. Tada prasanno Bhagavan. Tada, then, prasannaha, happy, Bhagavan. So Bhagavan, then Bhagavan was happy, and Varado Bhakta Vatsala, happy with the tapasya of the Bhakta, who are very dear to him, who are devoted to him, are very dear to him. He offered boons to them, and then in due course the Lord, devotee as well as the bestower of boons, became pleased with you, and he had said, given the boon. And what is that? Vrunishva varamityukte tava me putro bhavamala iti tvaya yachito sau bhagavan bhuta bhavanaha tathetyuktavadya putraste jato ramasa evahi sheshastu lakshmano rajan ramamevan vapadyata. At that, so when he says, I shall grant you boons, and because people do tapasya for some reason. You do Ekadashi for what? For eating sabudana khichdi. You have long weekend for what? Not for satsang. Oh, chalo ghumne chalte hain. है ना? It's okay. I'm not putting a guilt trip on anyone. See? Why not? Everything is okay, in balance. So, here, where are we? So, when we go to temples, when we go to Tirth Yatras, when we take a dip in the Ganga Ji, when we do certain pujas at home, there is always some fulfillment that you want to achieve, a wish that you want to happen. That's why you do puja. How many houses you have gone to do puja for no reason? How many times have you done puja at home? Special pujas. For no reason. Only for sake of God. Why you are doing Satyanarayan puja? Oh, to remember Lord. No, you don't want anything. No. So what sankalpa? No, Shraddha Bhakti Jnana Vairagya. That's all. No, you don't want anything. Another child. That the child should be intelligent, that he should grow, that he should do this, or health should become better. No. But if you ask for Shraddha Bhakti Jnana Vairagya, that's also a wish. Don't take sankalpa. So यहाँ पे, so here he says, at that you had asked, so when the Bhagwan said, so be it, ask a boon. So he asked, what did he ask? Vrinishva varamityukte tvam me putro bhavamala iti tvaya yachitosau bhagavan bhuta bhavanaha. At that you asked, you as Kashyap asked the Lord Vishnu, the Lord, that you should you should come as our son. We want a son and he should be like you. You should be born as a son. See? At which the one who has, and who is this one who should come down as his son, his and Aditi's son? That infinite, unborn, undying, which cannot be contained in any container, is Purnavada. He is complete, ever, fathomless, beginningless, endless. Cannot be captured in the purview of space, time and objectivity. Beyond the three gunas, such a one. He is saying, I want you to come as our child. We want you as our child. And the Bhagwan, he didn't. When the Lord is pleased with the devotee, whatever your wish, so be it. Tathastu. So he said here, Tathet putraste jato ramasa evahi. And thereafter he says that that same Lord Vishnu, who is the Lord of the universe, we are talking here about when there is asking, there is Kashyap Muni, then we are only talking about the totality. We are not talking about, we know it is the Parabrahma Paramatma, we know that Vishnu is the Parabrahma Paramatma, we know Shiva is the Parabrahma Paramatma, they are attributeless, but all the qualities of Parabrahma Paramatma are for the totality also. And why they are also for the totality? Why the qualities? So when we say Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Satchidanand Swarup, all these qualities are Parabrahma Paramatma, which is attributeless, and yet we call him that. Then why are the same qualities for the Brahma, so Vishnu and Mahesh also? Why? Because reflection, yes. Second reason, they are masters of their potentiality. Shivji is not a slave of Parvati. He is the master of Shakti. Vishnu, yes, he may say, Radhe Radhe, you are my Ardhangini, all that is fantastic. But he is not influenced, he is not subservient to his potentiality. Potentiality is because of him. He is not because of the potentiality. Yes, as a form, as a quality, as an attribute, he is because of the potentiality. But in Vishnu, Mahesh, Brahma, they know, or both of all the three, they know that their essence is other than their definition about themselves with reference to their Shakti or wives. They know that. We are also that way, but we don't remain steady in that realization. That is, and when we, and that's what we are seeking. See? And then he says that Lord Vishnu, who is the Lord of the universe, has manifested at this moment as Sri Ram in the form of your elder son, and that Sheshnag, the time, the Sheshnag is the 1,000-hooded snake, which is nothing but time. And he has been born to you as the Lakshman. Sheshastu Lakshmano Rajan Ramamevan Vapadyata. continuing in the okay time. We can stop here.
One or two verses that's complete.
It will complete the thought?
Yeah.
Okay. Our boss says complete the thought. नहीं यार अभी और है.
Where
Okay, let's 17, 18, 19, 20. जातौ भरत शत्रुघ्नौ शंख चक्रे गदा भृतः योगमायापि सीतेति जाता जनक नंदिनी विश्वामित्रोऽपि रामाय तां योजयितुमागतः एतद्गुह्यतमं राजन् न वक्तव्यं कदाचन अथ प्रीतेन मनसा पूजयित्वाथ कौशिकम् प्रेषयस्व रमानाथं राघवं सह लक्ष्मणम्. So the mace-bearing Lord, that is Vishnu's conch and discus, have taken birth, manifested in the form of Bharat and Shatrughna respectively. Here it is taken in that way. What is that? Conch and discus. The Sudarshan Chakra has taken birth as Bharat, and Conch has taken as Bharat. Because conch is it has got space inside. Bharatji is the space. So from conch, the Shankha has taken the form of Bharat, and Sudarshan Chakra has taken the form of Shatrughna, and therefore nobody could stand in front of Shatrughna except Love Kush. Shatrughna respectively, while his delusionary powers have taken the shape. What is that delusionary power? The Maya Shakti, the potentiality. She has taken the form of the Sita and in the form as the daughter of Janak. And then he says, Vishwamitropi Ramaya tam yojayitum agataha. And at present, this sage Vishwamitra has come with the intention. And what is that intention? Some secret, some hidden agenda. He wants to bless your children. And what is that? Of making a union between Sri Ram and Sita. Why? Sri Ram is the Purushottama. He is the Vishnu Bhagwan, Sri Vishnu. And Sita is his potentiality. So, to bring them two together, you need a matchmaker. So he is the matchmaker. Because he knows, he sees, he has that eye. It is not hidden from him that Sita is the Maya Shakti and Ram is the Vishnu. And therefore, he wants to do that holy, to bring these two people together and gain merit or whatever, and do the auspicious. So he says that is his hidden agenda. Why? How come Vashishta knows? Sage Vashishta is Trikala Jnani. He knows everything about past, present, future forever and ever. There is nothing hidden from him. Because otherwise you take in the Surya Vansh, this is Dasharatha and Ram are now. How many ancestors are there from the beginning of the Surya Vansh? Sage Vashishta has always been there. Where he came from? He is the mind-born son of Brahmaji. So he has been, throughout the cycle of creation, he is going to be there. So he has the knowledge. See? So he also knows, but he reveals it in quietude, not in front of everyone, only to Dasharatha Maharaj, that you were Kashyapa, Kausalya was Aditi, and you did the tapasya, and Vishnu Bhagwan blessed you, and now that Lord has born as Ram, and his the time has born as Sheshnag, and so and what was that? And the Shankh has born as Bharat, and Shatrughna is the Sudarshan Chakra. And your potentiality, this is only your limbs, but your potentiality, the power, the unmanifest power, your Shakti. Who is that Shakti? Lakshmi ji. She is taken the form of Sita as the daughter of Janak, and he wants to bring these two together. That's why he's calling, so that Ram is so that people can sing the glory of Ram, that he becomes well known, that people can have the darshan. It is not only for you, me and my baby and my husband and my wife and my family, and गए काम से. उसके बाद क्या? So, O king, this is a top secret. Don't tell it to your wives also. Don't tell anyone. And then in the 20th verse he says, Atah pritena etat guyyatamam rajan na vaktavyam kadachana. Don't ever repeat what I have just told to you. Why? This is the utmost secret. This is the hidden agenda behind Vishwamitra's coming here. So, because if he says it in front of you, everything will be watered down. Ata pritena manasa pujayitvatha kaushikam preshayasva ramanatham raghavam saha lakshmanam. And you should now therefore most cheerfully and willingly welcome and pay your respects to sage Vishwamitra and hand over your two sons to him. And without any doubts, without any hesitation, you should hand it over to him. See? And in this manner, वसिष्ठेनैव मुक्तस्तु राजा दशरथस्तदा कृतकृत्यमिवात्मानं मेने प्रमुदितान्तरः आहूय राम रामेति लक्ष्मणेति च सादरम् आलिङ्ग्य मूर्ध्न्यवघ्राय कौशिकाय समर्पयत. See, this is the period when Ram is called, but Ram doesn't come. Just before this, not this moment, just little bit before, that the Yoga Vashishta was given to Ramchandra ji.
No, it was when Ramchandra ji comes back from the...
It is all happening that time only. Yes, Ramchandra ji has gone around his... we think that it will be many years. It is not too many years. Ramchandra ji had asked his father, Dad, I've come back from school now, studies over, how long can you keep playing? You're not children anymore. So what to do? I want to have a tour of our kingdom. Can we brothers go and see the whole kingdom, please? How large and how wide. And so the king is very happy that my elder son is himself expressing this wish. And he says, yes, son, go. Everything is yours. So all the four brothers, they go on the chariot everywhere. And as they are going, the other brothers are doing all good deeds in the society. But Ramchandra ji, what is he doing? He is talking to people and he is visiting the Mahatmas in the ashrams as they are moving through the land. And when they have all come back, Ramchandra ji, because of all the satsang, this is what should happen to us. Speaking or listening. What is that? We must lose the plot of life. What is that plot of life? Ramchandra ji, he said in all the discussions that there is Paramatma, this life is ephemeral, that this life is only an illusion because we have forgotten. Then who am I? Is this happening to us? Ramchandra ji was under this spell, and he came back for 10 days. He did not eat, drink, bathe, change, sleep, nothing. He didn't. some places it comes that before Vishwamitra came, Ramchandraji was called, he didn't come, so Vasishji goes and calls him. He is locked up. They say, oh, he is not coming out. Why is not coming out, Bhaiya? Oh, because Ram, now Guru Maharaj is calling. He is the ultimate student. He will not say no to the teacher. The teacher goes in, he looks at him, he understood some depression is going on. Depression, Ramchandraji, depression, sad. It's all drama for our benefit because he is behaving as a human. He says, Ram, go, take shower first. Get into fresh clothes. He can't say no to his teacher to got into fresh clothes. Now eat food. Gave him food. He can't say no to his teacher. Now he said, sleep for half an hour, 1 hour, whatever. Because he has not slept for 10 days. Why? The urgency to know the secret of life, means the essence, that has captured his mind and he has become fish out of water. That did not allow him. Is that happening to us after satsang? Is that happening to us as we live our life? No, that means we are continuously missing the plot of life. So he was so disturbed that he went into this vegetative state where he was only contemplating on who am I then? And when he had eaten, then he said, now tell me, what is your problem? What is that which is eating you from inside? And then these 32,000 verses of Yoga Vasishtha. These are the question and answers between Ram and sage Vasishtha. He answers through stories, through knowledge, through discourse. Beautiful. If you want, you can listen to Swami Anubanji's complete abridged version of Yoga Vasishtha. It's on YouTube. During COVID, he took it. Beautiful. Beautifully he has rendered. Maja aa gaya ekdam. See, after that, that Yoga Vasishtha, he is a realized master. Just like after listening to Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna had no doubt. Did you understand, Arjuna? Yes. His answer is, I have no doubt, I will do what is as you say, what is required. He came to understand his position. Ramchandraji, after the Yoga Vasishtha, he knows who he is. There, Sita knows who she is. She knows that she is the ultimate Shakti. Here Ramchandraji knows he is the ultimate Atman. See, when union of two people like these comes together, that is holy. Holy knot. It's a knotless knot. See, because they are purak. Both are coming together to coexist together. They recognize that this is my potentiality, and she recognizes that without him I am nobody. As a Shakti. See? So here, so then after that, after coming to know himself, Ramchandraji comes out. We may say 32,000, अरे सब फटाफट हो जाता है ये सब. Bhagavad Gita was given on the battlefield. All the army were twiddling their thumbs, sitting in the chariots or what. It happened very quickly. For us, it is very long, 3 hours. So then he. When sage Vasishtha had thus explained everything to him, King Dasharatha considered himself most fortunate and privileged, and joyously, don't follow the serials, they show him crying there. Here it is not written cryingly. Joyfully, eagerly, because he realizes the truth of himself and he realizes the truth of Ram. Yet, he cries when Ramchandraji goes away. for Vanvas. But that pain was because he has to send him away. Anyway, when that comes, we'll see. And with a cheerful mind, he says, Ahuya Rama Rameti Lakshmaneti cha Sadaram Alingya Murdhya Vagraya Kaushikaya Samarpayata. And he called out, O Ram, O Lakshman. When the two brothers came, he embraced them. He smelled their murdhnis, where the hair touched the forehead, that part. And after that, he handed Kaushikaya Samarpayata, and he handed them over to in the custody of under the tutelage of sage Vishwamitra. Till here we'll conclude today and look at the story continuing from 23rd verse in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Anyone singing? Not a big crowd today on the Zoom as well as here.
I am singing.
Huh? I am singing. Sing.
Krishna, sing, my baby. Hari Om Tat Sat.